Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. For years, I have been fascinated by the idea of spirit guides, the afterlife, and the unforeseen forces that shape our journey through this life. It's a topic that once used to raise eyebrows, but today, it seems like more and more people are embracing the idea that there's more to life than meets the eye. Now, this is not something I talk about all the time, but when asked, I will be happy to share my thoughts on the subject. God, the afterlife, angels, and spirit guides, they are all real. Whether you communicate with them or not is something completely different, but yes, we all have spirit guides, and they help us on our journey through life. And I've come to realize that the heaven and hell that we were taught about growing up, we may not have been getting the full picture there. What if the visions we experience in meditation aren't just in our imagination, but what if they're glimpses of something greater, something real? If any of this resonates with you, then you're ready to meet our guest today, Asif Saba, author of a book called The Rock Crystals.
It was a book that came about by accident, really. It goes back maybe 30 years. I was at college and I was doing this English essay, and I wrote a really short A4 page, like a practice page of a little story as part of my English essay. And then I put it away for a good 5-10 years. And then I found it again after all that time, and I started reading it. And then I started thinking about it. And, the thoughts wouldn't go away. So, I just started writing from there.
Because some stories just demand to be told. When your thoughts keep knocking on your mind's door, sometimes you have to answer them. In The Rock Crystals, Asif combines his talents as a fiction writer with his knowledge of the Quran and the afterlife to weave together a story that entertains and informs.
I've got a character called Yusif, and he meditates daily, and he had a vision. Now, he had lots of little different visions, but one day he had a major vision that put all the pieces together, and he couldn't work out why this vision existed. Anyway, on one of his meditations, he came out of his physical body and went to the spiritual world. He met a couple of guardian angels, or these spiritual beings, and they took him further into the afterlife. And that's where he had this adventure fraught with challenges and obstacles that Yusif must overcome as part of his journey. And these companions are like his guides even in the afterlife.
His journey kind of mirrors our own in a way. Just like Yusif, we all face obstacles, but we're not alone. We have guidance. There is wisdom out there that says we were put on this earth to grow spiritually. We all have a life plan, and that plan includes accomplishing certain goals throughout our lifetime. To help us do that, we have spirit guides that gently nudge us along to keep us on track. I mentioned this earlier. Asif believes this story isn't just fiction, it's a reflection of spiritual truths that we can learn from. And when it comes to his book, Asif believes this story isn't just fiction, it's a reflection of spiritual truths that we can all learn from.
There's a lot going on there. I think for people who like to meditate and they are spiritual, I think they will get so much out of this book, because it'll help them maybe understand some of their own experiences because of what Yusif is going through. And so I think people will really find it fascinating.
Speaking of art mimicking life, one of the major lessons Yusif learns is to choose love over hate.
This world is just temporary. We're here, we learn our lessons. The greatest lesson we can learn is to love each other and not hate, because that just brings our vibration down. And love raises our vibrational spiritual body and helps to ascend. And the beauty about love is that when you express love, it opens your consciousness and you become more vibrant.
A great example of that is one I like to cite all the time. I call them shiny, happy people. A line I stole from the REM song, but we all know people that are just beaming with positivity. We're drawn to them, and it's not an accident. They are full of love and they vibrate at a higher frequency. Asif says looking at others as well as himself is what helped him craft this story.
I've had a number of other, I won't say unexplainable experiences, because everything is explainable when you look at things spiritually. But it helped me to understand that there is this hereafter and believe even more than what I already did believe before. And so, as I looked at my own experiences and then worked on creating Yusif's character and how I could use those experiences as a part of his journey, and just thinking of wise things to put into the book about the conversations that Yusif had with the other characters in the book, you do have to really search your own soul, search your own understanding, and try to bring out some beautiful wisdom to help other people as well travel in their pathway.
I know this might seem like a lot, so I'm going to do a quick summary. In The Rock Crystals, we meet Yusif. He's a devoted meditator. He's had glimpses of something beyond the physical world before, but one day everything changes. He steps back beyond the veil, encountering spiritual beings who guide him on a journey through the afterlife. His mission? To restore balance to a neglected island in the realm of Baka, one that could bring Earth closer to heaven. It's a fascinating story with some real-world implications. And here are some key takeaways. Love elevates us. Vibrations matter. Pay attention to your imagination, because maybe, just maybe, the visions we see in meditation are more real than we think. His book, The Rock Crystals, it's more than just a story. It's an invitation to explore your own spiritual path.
To know yourself is the best kind of wisdom you can get.
I could not have said that any better. To know yourself is the best kind of wisdom you can get. The Rock Crystals is available now at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and many other places, with options from $2 to $35, depending on how you want to experience it. A small price to pay for a glimpse into the wisdom of immortality. Thanks for listening to this edition of Newsgram from webtalkradio.com.